first thing you always think about is your own kids. I mean, I've got daughters, 31 and 33, and so, they still go out, and in this case, it was a gay nightclub. They targeted gays, they targeted Hispanics, but the truth is they targeted all of us. Yesterday, I spent a lot of time with families. I held a mom who recounted how her son died, bleeding to death. There was a lady that explained what happened to her son. And I talked to a dad who didn't want to talk about losing his son. He says, when is this going to stop? When are we going to focus on destroying ISIS? When are we going to share information? I've talked to people at the hospital, and the way I look at it now, I'm fed up with this. When we lost 49 people, we have 43 people still in our hospital injured. I went to a surgery last night, like everybody there. If we don't stop ISIS now, if we don't think about destroying ISIS now, when are we going to do it? 49 people dead here. We lost Stephen Soloff just in our state a couple years ago that was beheaded by ISIS. You've got Parrish, you've got San Bernardino. We have got to say to ourselves as a society, we're going to destroy ISIS. We are going to destroy ISIS. We're going to stop radical Islam. And because I don't want another 49 people dead. I don't know what another group of people attacked. It was an attack on all of us. I'm fed up with it.
That's a fight that happens on the national and international level. Did any of the people you spoke with say, Governor, what can we do here in Florida to better protect our families? Is it more police protection? Is it a law enforcement presence more widespread?
What they really talked about, the people yesterday, most of it was grieving. Most of it was, the mom crying that her son bled to death, or they're talking about funeral arrangements, things like that. We're trying to make sure everybody gets everything done. But when they did, they talked about, why didn't we share this information? Why wouldn't our local law enforcement known this? I remember after the Paris attacks, I was on the call with the White House, and I said, if you're going to send Syrian refugees into my state, I want the information that you have. And they said no. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, I'm responsible for the 20 million people who live in my state, the 100 million tourists. Give me the information so I can keep everybody safe. But with the information that the federal government has, they're not going to share it with me? I mean, that's wrong.
Now, there are a lot of people who said this man was on the FBI watch list. They investigated him not once, but twice. And the FBI director, James Comey, is pretty clear. He said, I don't think we let anything fall through the cracks. Do you find this disconcerting?
Well, we're gonna, clearly now all this will come out. We'll find out exactly what everybody did. I appreciate law enforcement. I appreciate people that are willing to go into that building at the gay nightclub and say, risk their life to save those people. I appreciate law enforcement. But the federal government's got to share information with us. They've got to make sure that we have the same information they have, so our local police departments, our sheriff's departments, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, they can all do their job. This is our country. You shouldn't be coming to our country if you don't believe in the principles of our country. We ought to vet you. We must not be vetting very well, or we wouldn't have some of the things that are happening in this country.
When you go to Senator Rubio, Senator Nelson, do you find that this is falling on deaf ears, or are they sympathetic and they say, yeah, we've got to open this line of communication? I'm
tired of talking about things. I mean, how many more Americans, how many more groups are going to be targeted? How much of this are we willing to put up with? I'm tired of this. Go listen to these families and say, who would want to hear another mother say, I heard this story of how my son bled to death at a nightclub. At least I feel comfortable that he was a hero. He helped save some other people. There's some positive in that. But then, why do we have to have this happen? It's because we're not destroying ISIS. We're not saying radical Islam needs to stop. You need to stop. You should not be saying all of these derogatory things about our country or about a group of people. You should not be attacking gays. You should not be attacking Hispanics. You should not be attacking anybody in our country.
This has ramped up the debate on gun control, and I know that you're a proponent of the right to bear arms. Has this given you pause for thought about your stance?
The Second Amendment has been around for over 200 years. It didn't kill anybody. Evil killed people. Radical Islam killed people. ISIS killed people. We have got to say that is our problem, all right? Now, look, there's always a conversation you can have about how you can improve your society, but let's look at what's going on. We've got to have a better vetting process. We've got to say, you're not going to come into this country if you don't believe in the principles of the country, and we're going to follow people if you're doing the wrong thing in our country, and we're going to stop you. I don't want to see I don't ever want to see it in my state, but I don't want to see it in my country. This is our country. You don't have a right to come into our country and do evil things to Americans.
And this man got these arms legally. How about those who say, okay, I agree with the right to bear arms, but assault rifles have only one place in society, that's to kill. Do we maybe need to tailor things a little bit?
Let's remember, evil did this. Evil did this. Radical Islam did this. ISIS did this. We've had the Second Amendment for 200 plus years. It didn't do this. It's the evil that's doing this. Let's focus on what's happening. Let's start out by destroying ISIS. Let's say to ourselves, we are absolutely going to put ISIS, they're going to be gone, destroyed. Radical Islam is not going to be there. We're going to destroy radical Islam. It should be gone.
I've talked to you a number of times. I don't think I've ever seen you so frustrated. Do you think that this can bring about a dialogue and bring about changes? I mean, has it increased your resolve?
Yeah. I mean, go talk to a mom. Go talk to, a family that lost their loved one. Go listen to I mean, can you imagine your child? I have daughters the same age as many of these individuals that were killed, and they targeted people. I mean, nobody would want this ever to happen to their family. I don't ever have to go through this again. So our federal government needs to stop doing, they got to show up, destroy ISIS. Say, this is radical Islam. Say, ISIS inspired this. We got to stop this.
I know you told me that your grandson wants to be a police officer when he grows up.
He wants to rescue people.
He
wears a badge every day, either a fireman's badge or a police badge.
Does that give you faith that not all is lost in society?
Oh no, I'm very optimistic about our society. Look, we have a wonderful state. Orlando's a wonderful community. We've got a great nation, but this nation has to say to itself, when is enough enough? In my opinion, if it's not now, how many more lives are we going to lose? But no, I love being a grandparent, and I love being a parent. And when I've made sure my grandson knows law enforcement. He knows firemen. He knows people that go do good. They do good. I talked to the officer that got shot in the helmet.
The Kevlar helmet.
Yeah, thank God. Think about it. If it was 2 inches lower, he would be dead.
So as a dad and a grandpa, put governor aside. You want a better life for our kids. You want a safe life for our kids.
Yeah, I want them to be able to go out and enjoy life. Like the 320 people that went to the nightclub, they just went out to enjoy their night. They didn't go. These were just nice people going out to enjoy their night, have fun with each other. In our country, you ought to be able to do that and not have a risk of some radical, Islamic come in shooting you and killing you, murdering you.
And you said we're not going to live in fear.
No,
Florida Governor Rick Scott, thank you very much.
Thanks.
The News at 8 starts right now.